Please help me, like this video and subscribe. I really appreciate your help. Sons and daughters of MILFs, how has your mom being super hot affected your life? Edit. Yes, I realize I made a typo. Please stop correcting it. My mom had a relationship with my 5th grade teacher, flirted with all my friends as well as my sister's boyfriends. Then she divorced my dad, who's a pastor. I would say she was a poor role model. Now she lives with a dentist in a $5 million house with an ocean view in Florida. Moms love a man that can drill and fill. Everything turns into I'd bang ya mom after any argument. I can't seem to have a normal discussion with no one. I love your accent. Not my mom, but my dad. As some background, he looks a bit like Thor in the Avengers movies. He's Norwegian too. Throughout my childhood my friends and their moms always told me how good looking he is. It didn't help that he was newly divorced. I was always so uncomfortable when they were like, wow, your dad is so good looking, or I see where you get your looks from. When we go to dinner, women, and the occasional man, will buy him a drink or make any excuse to talk to him. Went on vacation to a resort in Arizona. Everyone stared at him. People will ask me if he's my boyfriend. I'm 18F and he's 45, but looks about 35. It's annoying. Edit. Lol, my brother-in-law just got asked the other day if his daughter was his girlfriend. She's 13 / but the mix of her parents' genes have created a 5 feet 9 inches dark-skinned beauty that looks like she's 25. He was not a happy camper. That would be more awkward than asking a fat woman when she is due. It led to a lot of lewd jokes by my friends growing up, which I had to hit them for. Also, sometimes my dad would talk about sex with my mom in front of other people, which was awkward. Not like graphic description, but it's weird to listen to your dad mention his active sex life to your high school football position coach. But yeah, from 13 to 18 there were a lot of kids for your mom is pretty hot dude. I wouldn't mind getting some alone time with her. To which I'd have to respond by saying FK you dude, that's my mom. I mean, the alternative would be saying yeah, my mom is pretty hot. Which is just fucking weird and unacceptable. The appropriate response is, I guess it's only fair, after what I did with your mom last night. Noise. Remember people, your stories aren't considered true until you post a picture of said MILF. God's work. Growing up, my mom modeled for Harley Davidson and No Fear. My friends all made comments, and I would act like it bothered me, but it really didn't. Not like it matters, but I wouldn't have preferred an ugly mom. She had a great confidence about her that she instilled in my brothers and me. The drawback was, I was a child of divorce, and my mom had no shortage of random dudes wanting to get it on with her. And of course, they would pretend to be really into her kids for a while, until they broke up. Then we'd never hear from them again, of course. It made me more annoyed than sad though. I knew a girl in high school who had a mom that was pretty young and very attractive. It was something that bothered her a lot and caused her self-esteem issues because whenever they would go anywhere, her mom would get all the attention and was the type of person who loved it. The guys at school would also talk a lot about how hot her mom was and always made jokes about it, which she usually brushed off, but you could tell they bothered her. I know this feeling. My mom is really pretty and super charming. My sister is also really beautiful. I get a lot of comments about how we don't look related, which is code for, why aren't you prettier? It used to bother me a lot, but I'm married to someone who thinks I'm beautiful and my daughter is crazy cute, so I don't care as much. Still stings a bit when I go out with them, and people tend to act like I'm not there. I have brothers who are a million times more attractive than me. I know that feeling. Wow, your 2 sons could be models. They're so handsome. Oh, and Zebra Mouse is a nice boy. You're searching for fap stories. Welcome to rAskReddit. You must be new. Typically I would get jokes about banging my mom. Always laughed it off and moved on. Then into high school I realized that it was a backhanded compliment of sorts. Then started turning the tables on the jokers. They'd say my mom is hot blah blah blah. Then I'd say yep, that's why I look normal and your mom looked like the offspring of Chris Farley. They stopped after that. My mom does look kinda like Chris Farley. My mom is really hot, and it sucks, because I feel like, as her daughter, I kind of have to live up to how she looks. Friends are always telling me that my mom is awesome, and it makes me feel awkward lol. She's really stylish, though. so I get to borrow her clothes a lot. I'm a guy. But my mom was a personal fitness instructor for 15 years and now does nutritionist stuff. So she looks really good, and she also looks really young. Like 30. One of my friends started hitting on her, as 18, before I punched him in the stomach and yelled at him, but my mom is ridiculously strong and I'm a recovering anorexic. So anytime I can't open something or pick something up I have to call my mom to do it. All my friends give me shit about it. I know what you're going through /you/Chalorine. Grandma nerd, affected, IDK, having a hot mother probably brought about their life. I would like to share how it has affected my grandson's life. Grandson by marriage. My grandson's mother is drop dead -10/10 beautiful tattoo triple D fake boob kind of crazy. She is an escort at golf tournaments. Rich guys will fly her with them on a jet while they go away for a 4-day golfing tour without their wives. She brings back around $7-10 grand. My grandson is 7 turning 8 this year. She expects his hair to be perfect. In the morning it takes at least 20 minutes to get his David Beckham style right. Afterwards he is not allowed to play because he will end up messing up his hair and clothes. She never read to him or taught him his ABCs, so he was really behind in kindergarten. Her entire care and love for him is not for his education or being kind. It's being entitled and getting whatever you want whenever you want. How this has affected him. A lot of his feelings are buried. He hates being called stupid in school because he's just learning how to read in 2nd grade, so he internalizes a lot of his emotions. One of those, and I hate it, is excitement. For example, I took him to Disney World. When I told him he just looked up and said, okay. The reason behind this is because his mother made and broke promises for exciting trip after exciting trip, so he figured it was never true. A child without excitement is like having all the magic in the world taken away. He has a hard problem making friends. He stands out like a sore thumb, wearing designer jeans, shoes, shirt, and his hair done up, and they live in the shittier part of Houston. All that money she makes goes to laser liposuction, botox, and laser hair removal, makes it near impossible for him to make friends. He has no people skills because his mother doesn't. She's entitled, a sex object, and had pulled him away from anyone close. That is his father, his father's parents. My husband and I are all that is left, but she's already pulling him away from us too. How he sees her, he understands what is mommy's. She wears very scantily clothing, always has guys in her rooms across the hall from him, so he's not stupid. He doesn't know the depth, but he understands the portion. Him and I are very close. When his mother is around us, we have to put up this front, where we don't say anything to each other, because she could get jealous, and he knows that when that happens, she tears him away. It's a sad life, because being super hot takes works, and a narcissism that must come along with it. Who knows what his future holds, but I hope every day that he is going to make it through just fine. I noticed my mom being super hot, and thus why people were always acting odd around her when I entered puberty. So, like a horny teenager with no other women in his life, I started to fap to pics of her in bikini, and later I started to spy on her. When I was 17, I was spying on her in the shower and she saw me. She angrily shut the door and said we'll talk about this later. Holy FK, I was dreading that talk. So yeah, later she came into my bedroom to discuss what happened. I sat on my bed with my head in shame, so it took me a while to notice she was only wearing a towel. She came sit next to me, and in a tone of voice that I never heard from her before, but that I definitely liked, she said rAskReddit hates when their fap stories don't have a happy ending. I get weird middle-aged teachers and mutual friends come up and say your mom is quite pretty and then just trail off and still look at her. It's weird, but weirder still when they later say I look a lot like her. Well, both my mom and dad are hot. Growing up I was dreaded with the your mom is a total MILF statement, so I stopped having friends over. Then when I was older and needed to do a group project, I invited my group over. There were some girls in my group, and when they left they kept telling me that my dad was really cute and good looking. Nobody is ever allowed to come over anymore. Ever. A lot of is that your sister, and wow your mom is beautiful every time a friend meets her. Every time. It's unfortunate I got none of her good looks. I always worry that a date will see her and no longer be interested, but it hasn't happened. So, doesn't affect my life much. Just your usual teenage self-consciousness, doubled. She's a hot sociopath, so she went out of her way to be mean to her female relatives due to her confidence in her looks. She thought I was ugly, would call my sister fat, mocked her sister for teenage acne, and lectured her niece on not getting knocked up. B/C the niece was hot enough to have guys coming around to try to do that. Her style wasn't to build up other women. I never heard her compliment other women. I had terrible self-esteem as a kid and teen. I felt ugly and unwanted. The only upshot to my mom's beauty/craziness was guys were put off by her shit attitude and laziness. She lost her looks and never had her LTR after my dad divorced her. TL. Doctor, karma catches up to some attractive sacks of crap. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments below the video. Do you know the sons or daughters of MILFs, and how did it affect their lives? And also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.